Right, so I thought, welcome to the channel. If you like this, or I want you actually to share this to all the haters out there, all the people that seem to have a problem with the Zack Snyder cut coming out. No, it's not a cut, it's Zack Snyder's Justice League. I thought I would do this just now because, hey, family's asleep. I've just came off the night shift. Don't think I could sleep coming back with all this in my mind. And because I've got to be quiet, I'm not going to be shouting. I'm not going to be raising hell or whatnot. I'm going to be nice, calm. So, why this video? Well, I'll tell you why this video. I was in work today, and when I was about to show somebody the tweet in the last video, the one about Ray Fisher confirming that, yeah, Joss Whedon was terrible, Jeff Johns was terrible, and the studio was actually sort of saying, yes, we like storytellers. We like, and it's not what they were saying last year. So it's their way to apologise what happened to Zach. So, before I said anything to this guy, he said he got up, and I don't know what he put on, but they were discussing why this was such a bad thing, that the studio was doing what, was listening to the demands of the people and putting this out. It set some sort of bad, idea. I mean, why is that going to happen to every film just because somebody doesn't like the ending? Is this the Games of Thrones? Okay, first of all, Games of Thrones was rushed. The ending of the book has not even been written yet, and it didn't make any sense from series 1 to the end, to the build up. Okay, there was a lot of things in that season that they were building it up and it fell flat. People have been asking to wait until the film's done and then give us a season ending that actually would make us want to buy the show. And why is that? Because you've got fans. You've got fans that buy the books, the merchandise, people involved for the last few years of their life, and this TV series. And I bought the box set myself, and I bought the wee guy, Tyrion. And I feel like I can't watch it now because the ending was so badly written and done. And I want to love it, I want to enjoy it. So, push that to the side. And what gets me about these media, and also the guy said to me that when he was tuning into this is, there's a lot of people, being nasty on the internet and being trolling and everything else from this night. I went, no. That's a small minority of a group of people that want the Zack Snyder fans, but the vast majority, 99% of the people in Zack Snyder's camp that wanted this have been putting money towards the charities, have been showing, been helping people out around the world, and posting good vibes and trying to let the artists have their say and talk to act. There are so many good things that have come out of this, but these media sites like to concentrate on the negatives, because these media sites are the ones that were also in the wrong and they've been found out. Now, here's the thing I thought of before I recorded this. When you go and buy a cinema ticket, And that cinema ticket, the reason why you bought that is because, say, somebody stars in it. Say it's Mark Hamill, Star Wars, Force Awakens. His image is on the poster. I want to see that. And you sit for 2 hours of the movie without seeing him, and then he appears for 10 seconds. And you're like, this is not what I paid for. This was false advertising. And this is what you have to watch out for when you buy anything in your life, or if you buy a brand name, when you buy, when it comes to snacks or anything, if you buy that brand name, you expect that brand to be in whatever you bought. If it's a bottle of sauce, packet of crisps, you expect it to be in that. If it's a packet of Monster Munch crisps, and on the front cover it's got wee claws, pictures of claws that the crisps look like, you open it up and there's no claws inside. Bad, false advertising. Zack Snyder, his name was on that film. People were assured, people were told that it's still Zack Snyder's movie and there would only be little changes. And then within the first couple of minutes, we suddenly realised there was no. In the first couple of minutes, we knew exactly that this is not a Zack Snyder movie. And then, of course, the press comes out and we hear that Zack Snyder himself hasn't went to see his so-called movie. Why is that? Because he had little to do with what came out. That isn't his film. His name should be stricken off the name. His name should be stricken off that movie as credits. Hence why we have Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's basically saying this is the film. That isn't. I reported earlier on that DC fandom is talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League and not the one that Joss Whedon done. I've also reported that when the cast was making Justice League and Joss Whedon came on, they were badly treated. The actors came out in support of Zack Snyder because of the things that was said or done on the set. Ben Affleck signed a contract because he believed in Zack Snyder's films. That was taken away. Ben's wondering, why am I still being this Batman? That is not why I signed this. We are the consumers. When we go and buy, as I say, ticket or go and look forward to a movie, we expect this to be done by what we see in the trailers. The trailers are meant to tell us what to expect, what to see, and then by the time we go and see the film, there's nothing, very little of what we saw in the trailers in the film. Again, bad advertising. What amazes me, some people say that, why, as I said earlier on, they're complaining that it's, why, because they're not happy with the ending. They want to see, they want to read, they want to change the ending because they're not happy. This isn't just the ending. There were people that worked the cameras, editing, music, guy with a microphone, the cast, special effects team, actor, just about everything. Go through the list of the credits of how to make a movie. Most of those people that worked on Zack Snyder's film was badly treated. Everything they worked on for years was probably scrapped, and the company brought in Joss. Now, how would you like to work for a company and you were assigned a team to build this, and then somebody else came in and started jumping up and down and thrashing it, and it says, that is what you've made, and I'm going to keep your name attached to it, and I'm going to send it out. That is an injustice. That is an injustice. So the public were not only lied to, but there were so many people as well whose futures, lives depended on that original work going out. And what makes you say that we have some sort of opinion? The studios, films or whatnot that make this brand, these films only exist because there are people out there that will spend money. We are the consumers. We want to pay money for a certain brand, and if we don't get it, we want to return it and exchange it for something that we wanted. Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide. What did the fans do? They started a campaign, a petition, and put money away, billions of money away for the charity. We also said, please can we see Zack Snyder's film that he worked so hard on, that you guys destroyed, that we paid money to see, that you didn't deliver. We've got no interest in spending any more money to see your films because we can't trust your product anymore. And now, if you were to buy, if this happened in any other business out there, if you were to buy a Sony TV and suddenly the Sony TV doesn't work, you would, after a wee while, you would stop buying Sony. You don't trust its brand name. It keeps giving you other Sony products. But I went, no, I'm not interested until I get the one that I'm interested for. People, we're not, and the film isn't just the ending. You're talking about a different music score. You're talking about a different story, a different villain, the different CGI, more actors that was somehow spent most of their time filming, and then just to be told in the last few days that they're not going to be in the movie, and they put the heart and the soul into this film. Should we not stand up for that? Should we not say, wait a wee minute, I bought this product belonging to Zack Snyder, but it's not the full thing. I want to see what he's made, that Warner Brothers has advertised, that I could be able to see. And we're the customers. We've been buying your merchandise, your comics, your DVDs. That's the reason why these movies are getting made, because studios know that there's a fan base. Let me repeat that. A fan base that knows that they'll buy tickets to see this. Because people have been spending money on DC for years, and so they know there is an audience out there that will spend the money on it. Now, what the cinemas forget, what these studios sometimes forget, it goes everywhere, is they're thinking about the general audience, the people that don't buy the merchandise, the people that don't know anything about it. They want to appeal to them, but it's the fans that will buy multiple tickets. It's the fans that will buy your toys. It's the fans, if you get their approval, they will talk to everyone and say how great it is. And they will educate the general audience about who's who and what's what. And they'll keep coming back for more. But if you start dishing out rubbish, a rubbish brand, you lose the fan base. You'll get a general audience in that will not spend money on your merchandise. So it's in the company's best interest to listen to the fans. And that is all this movement has done. We've shouted what we wanted and what we needed, and we promised this company that we will buy into this stuff if they give us what we want. And that's what every company wants to do. Every tradesman wants to do, is they want to give you something which they'll know you'll come back to again and again. Now, is it said to be the only reason why this has happened is, first of all, the internet. We know more of going on behind the scenes. We investigate more. 20 years ago or so, we never knew anything. We were just given these films that we didn't want, and probably a lot of these films ended up in the scrap heap because they didn't know what the audience was looking for. But now people have a voice. If you want us to spend a lot of our earned cash and money to go to cinemas that a lot of people say is overpriced, then you've got to really give us what will make us happy, what will make us enjoy and appreciate. By voicing our opinion, people have changed what Sonic the Hedgehog looked like. That film then became a success. The studio sent it out there, and they answered, and they changed their ways. When you're making a franchise, it's okay if you're making a normal film that doesn't have a sort of following or a fan base, then you can go to town and make it, and people will just appreciate what's been sent out. But when you start taking something that's been around for years and years and years, and people have got a connection to that, and you throw something at us that basically disrespects that, then why should we give money to the cinema? Can we not say we just don't like it? We hate it. It's bombed. Justice League bombed. It was a failure. It was a failure because they tried to make Zack Snyder's film into somebody else's movie. And for those fans that were expecting an answer to BVS, got shit on, really. They got shit on. This isn't going to happen to every movie. This really just happens to these franchises that people love. When we start hearing that this is not what the director wanted to make, this ends careers in directors. This reputation ends. Ray Fisher, I've never heard him have another job after Cyborg. He could have been working more. Zack Snyder, because his name was attached to it, his legacy may have been tarnished by that film because his name was on that. No. And now what do we get? And listen, if you don't want to see it, then don't go and see it. But I want you to think about this. Thanks to the majority of people that were good and well behaved, because believe me, there were a lot of people out there that was trolling the Zack Snyder fans. People that were fans of BVS were told that they weren't DC fans, that they were garbage, so there was trolls on both sides. But here's the thing, if you don't want to see it, don't go and pay for it. What was that guy said? I'll just look it back up again. I mean, there's Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck saying, please release the Snyder Cut because he was tarnished by it. You have got, as I say, Ray Fisher saying Joss Whedon on set treatment of the cast and crew, people behind the cameras, or Justice League was gross, abusive, and so would you not want to stand up against the abusive and unprofessional? Unprofessional and completely unacceptable behaviour. So what happens when the Snyder Cut is trashed too? At the very least, it's from Snyder's vision, what we paid for. You didn't fight for that, his fans did. So what does it matter to you if it's trash or not? Exactly. So what happens when we get this film? Well, there's going to be more DC films. And to be honest, we wouldn't have got another Justice League movie for years. We wouldn't have got one. Warner Brothers had no intention of making another Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman and Flash movie. For that was done. It could have been another 10, 15 years. Use people that are complaining about this are probably those people that was trolling people that was saying we want the Snyder Cut, right? Because I think you're jealous now, or you're feeling guilty that you have been sitting on the wrong side of the fence, the wrong side of the argument, and you are looking silly, you are looking daft. And this is why a lot of people on YouTube and on blogs are either A, apologising, saying that they were wrong, which is very, very little, or 2, trying to put it down to raise you up by saying it's a daft idea. But now, thanks to this movement, we have more films coming out for DC. We have got big crossover events coming for DC. We have made a studio executive guy high up changing his tone, saying that I'm bypassing exhibited by the Snyder Cut fan base. Stories matter. Storyteller matters and frowned for. So storytellers matter now. The studios are now want to see a director-driven movie. So when we go and see, say, a Quentin Tarantino movie, we're going to get that. When we see a Steven Spielberg movie, we're going to get that. When we see any sort of director's name attached to it, it's going to be his complete vision. And I'll end this again. The Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, is a different film. It will not feel like what came out before, which was a failure. So we are actually getting Justice League, another Justice League film in our lifetime, which will then roll on to another Justice League movie, which there was no plans for. So for fans out there, this is what this society has done. We've made it possible that in our lifetime there's a greater possibility that the studio will make 3 more Justice League movies. And are you going to tell me, all you haters out there, that you're not going to just not watch it? I hope you can be truthful when you've seen this film. I hope you can hold your hand up and say that you've been wrong and that you cannot wait, and you apologise and say that was entertaining, that did not feel like a movie I've seen before. But will you do that? I doubt it. It just annoyed me how a small fraction of people out there, and as I say, we had this for 3 years. We had all used people shouting at us for wanting this, and it's, why has it affected you so much? Why has it affected the fact that, you know, we would like to see a movie done by a director that is a totally different thing that came before? Why does it bother you that much? There won't be this won't happen again. You know, I mean, if they make a Marvel movie, I doubt they will start saying we want another Doctor Strange movie. Well, I want to see the director's version of that, or I want to see what the Shawshank Redemption did. I want to see. Oh, here's another thing. I've heard recently that Star Wars is basically saying that the previous films that Disney made, I don't know what they said, they're going to do something about that it's not canon, that they pretend it not happened. That's because they know they paved off the fans. So get this through your head, right? People have got the right to say they don't like anything. People have the right to demand a better treatment of the product if they want us to buy into it. And they have got to be listening to the people if they want to fit bums on seats. We don't want to be lectured to about feminism, racism and whatnot. We just want to go to the cinema and see stuff that we love. When we go to a cafe and buy some food, we want to see the food that we love, that we're going to consume. What we don't want is cheap, nasty rip-offs. I could go on for days. I can go on for hours. I just don't get I just don't get why people can't see this as a good thing. It just annoys me, and I can't believe they can't just feel happy that this has proven that you out there have a voice and it matters. This is what this movement has proven, that we will not be dictated by studios from their some sort of agenda to try to tell us what we want to see. We will tell you what we want to see by either buying or not buying a cinema ticket. All we can do is advise you, this is what I want to see. I want to see another Man of Steel movie. I want to see another Wonder Woman movie. I want to see this. I want to see that. I want to see that. You bring that out, I'll give you my ticket. And the more and more we ask for things, the more likely it is we will get it. But if we stay silent, how is anybody going to know? And how is anybody going to improve when we stop talking and we just accept things? As I say, we've never asked for, I don't like the way he's wearing shorts, or I don't like the way he's wearing that t-shirt. No, what we just want, what we're asking for, we're not just moaning about a little thing. We're not just moaning, I don't like that because he was wearing these daft things. No. We're asking for justice. We're asking for a film that has been sitting in a vault, that has been prepared, that was promised to us, and now we're getting it. If you didn't ask for it, that's fine. You feel guilty probably that you didn't ask for it, and probably wanted rather just hate on people that have got what they want. Are you jealous? I don't know. But justice is done. Justice is served, and I cannot wait. And if you've seen my other clips, you would have seen another dark side. We'll get more DC characters. Who can complain about that? We get director's cuts all the time. Blade Runner had so many director's cuts. Alien 3 had a director's cut. Why are they cuts? Because of studio interference. But this isn't a cut. This is a brand new movie that we would not have got. This is a brand new I'm looking at my DC figures just now. Honestly, 2 years ago, I thought that was it for DC. I thought we would have a standalone Aquaman, standalone Wonder Woman. Batman's out now. Henry Cavill's finished. No more Henry Cavill. And look what's happened now, thanks to fans having their voices heard. So Snyder fans, you can say, I would say, is the Justice League. So I'm going to end it there because I could go on for days and hours and whatnot. If you've listened this long, I'm surprised. I'm doing this because I just want it out my head, because I can't fathom why anybody would complain. I just think there's I've lost so many people in my life, and there's so many films out there that I would have loved to have shared with my dad. Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. He died a year before. And for me, I want a proper Justice League movie out before it's too late. I want things now, not 5 years from now, when they finally say, okay, let's try that again. This is what we've got to be happy for. Zack Snyder fought for his fans, not just to give us his cut, but his original idea that Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, and everyone else came to this person and destroyed, got a director involved and messed up with these people's livelihoods, the actors who were taken out of the movies, Zack Snyder who lost and was hammered by these, and people fought for that. How can that be so wrong? People fought for this guy who took time out and is still taking time out to talk to fans, to talk to the people that loved the stuff that he was trying to create, and you think there's something wrong with that? Then there's something wrong with you. Thanks very much.